You took our damn pick. 2 picks away from drafting our wide receiver and Matthew Golden from University of Texas. And he was gonna fall right in our hands. We're like, man, we're gonna go wide receiver with the number with our first round pick. And Matthew Golden wanted to play for us, and we were 2 picks away. We're like, all right, Green Bay's on the clock. I'm like, bet. Then it's Minnesota, and then it's Houston, and then we're gonna draft our guy. What ended up happening? Fucking Packers at 23 took Matthew Golden. You believe that fucking shit? Sorry, excuse my French, excuse my cursing. But I wanted that receiver so fucking bad. I'm sorry, I mean I have to curse in this video, but I wanted him so bad. And the Packers took him at 23. So what did the Texans do? We traded down. Because at that point there was really no point staying on the board. There was nobody else really that was just a must take. So we just went ahead and traded down with the Giants. The Giants ended up taking our pick, and they gave us 34. They gave us 99, and I think we got like a future third round pick or something like that. So we got a 3-for-1 deal. Not really tripping on that, but what I will say is that we wanted a receiver and we didn't get him, so we're probably going to go offensive lineman, I'm predicting. I'm predicting we're going to go offensive lineman with the pick for the 34th. 99, I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go with that strategy, but I mean, at this point, you just draft the position that you need and the best player available on the board. That's all you really can do at this point. God damn it, I wanted Matthew Golden so bad. I wanted a wide receiver here from Texas. We didn't get him. Unbelievable, man. I wanted him bad. Bad. Anyways, the NFL schedule comes out. Time and dates. May the 15th. Mark your calendar. Next a Wednesday. I kind of knew and predicted that it was going to be around like mid-May that the schedule will be out. So I already saw that coming. So, people have been asking me, well, what do you think Texans should play for us on the schedule? I don't give a damn at this point. Last year it was Indy. I was like, oh, it's May the 14th? Okay, whatever. 14th, 15th, same thing. They said, who would you like to see Texans play first? I don't really give a damn anymore. Whoever's on the schedule, throw us whoever. This is the first year I've said that. Usually I always want to play a divisional opponent to start the year off. Colts, Jagtards, Titans Hards, whoever. This year I really don't care. Just throw anyone our way. Don't really matter no more. Who's ever on the schedule is whoever on the schedule. Doesn't matter to me. I'll take whoever. I'm at the point now where it's like, schedule is what the schedule is. Whoever you schedule the Texans against, I'll take whoever you give us. What do you think of the first pick? Well, obviously we knew that Cam Ward was going to go to Tennessee. Tennessee would have to be a fool not to draft a quarterback. They need a quarterback. I mean, I know they got Will Levis, but yeah, he's not really, in my opinion, he's not really coming to his form. That's just my opinion. But I think Cam Ward is the best player in the draft, and the Titans obviously made a very good decision. I know Jacksonville, I believe they came in second, and they got themselves a what was it they got themselves? A Travis Hunter. But I heard that I think Cleveland's trying to trade for him or something like that. I don't know if that's in the works or what happened with that. But allegedly that was the rumor going there. That's what was going on. And I knew the Giants were going to draft an edge rusher. They got an edge rusher with their pick, so that was the right move. They didn't need to really go quarterback, Shadul Sanders, but they did ended up not the Giants, but Shadul Sanders ended up not getting drafted in the first round. But many people say, "Oh, well, it's because he's arrogant, he sucks, and all that." And I'm like, well, to be honest with you, at the same time, yes, he's a little arrogant. I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, only 2 quarterbacks got drafted in the first round anyway, so it really doesn't matter per se. They got drafted or whatever. What else did I want to say? And yeah, Matthew Golden went 23. Green Bay took him. God damn it, I wanted that pick so bad. We ended up not getting him. So we traded down. 34th pick will go offensive lineman. And who's ever the best on the board, you take him. It's as simple as that. Simple mathematics. Other than that, I really don't care who got picked. I believe that New England went offensive tackle with their pick, and they picked like the best one on the board from LSU. And that was a really good pick, too. So, yeah, I mean, there were some great picks that were on the board, and most of them already got eaten up in the first round. So now it's just kind of a crapshoot in a barrel for the next 10 rounds, which I think rounds 2 to 3 are tomorrow, if I'm correct. I'll be at work, so I'll just have to watch it on ESPN, but I predict Texans will go offensive lineman. That's obviously what I think is going to end up happening. And not to change the subject because I know it's football talk, but did you see the Oklahoma City Thunder game? Because Memphis had, almost a 30-point lead. Now there's 1 minute left in the game, and the Thunder's up by 2. And, John Morant went out with almost the same injury that Jimmy G had. And so I wish, Morant and Butler a speedy recovery. Jimmy G has what's called a muscle contusion or something like that in his hip. Thank God there's no structural damage. There's no fractures. So that's good. So that means if he hypothetically wins the game, 3, Rockets win game 3, he can still come back for game 4 and make this a series. So like I said, I don't want any excuses if we beat Warriors and say, oh, well, you beat us at our worst. It's like, no, I want your best players out there. I hope Jimmy G plays Saturday. Just so that way, we could say, hey, we beat you at your best or whatever. But if he can't make it, but he can make game 4 even better, Like I said, hope we could just, it might be their only chance still in the game. Yeah, still in the game in Golden State. We don't need to win 2. We just need to win 1. I'm watching the Thunder Grizzlies game now. If I'm correct, I think the Thunder's up 111 to 108 with 39 seconds to go. Grizzlies had a 30-point lead, and looks like they might actually blow it and lose the game. It looks like the Thunder might take a 3-0 lead. And if you're the Grizzlies, you got to be pounding your fist at the wall in this one because you don't lose a 30-point lead. I know Morant was out, but you don't play defense. You allow Chet Holmgren to fucking shoot from 3-point arc in the third quarter and giving him those wide open shots. It's like even on the pick and roll, you're leaving this guy wide open. He's just hitting those shots like they're nothing. Offensive lineman in the first round once again. Yeah, they had to. Personally, I think the Cowboys are stupid for signing an extension with Dak, but I think they're probably looking at it as like there's no other quarterback that's going to come in and win now. Why they didn't take the chance with Trey Lance, I don't know. I'm still scratching my head on that one. I think that the Cowboys should have went all in with a younger guy. I don't know exactly what the Cowboys' plans are and why they're behind Dak as much as they are. It's crazy. I think the Cowboys were more committed to Dak than we were to James Harden or we were to Deshaun Watson. Crazy that sounds. I think Dak has lost a lot of his skill set. And he's a lot slower. The game has caught up to him. The receivers are running routes before he can even get the ball to them. They're already at their marker. He's not consistent enough, and he's just slow. Mechanics are slow. His footwork is slow, and he can't even run anymore. And Cowboys were stupid for re-signing him. That was the dumbest move I saw was the extension on Dak. Should have let him play on his contract year. And then found a way to get rid of him. Yeah, running back and receiver still need. I agree. I agree with that. I think the Cowboys should have won with Trey Lance. Marvin said this is ridiculous. They didn't try to go with him. I know. They just left Trey Lance sitting on the bench. They went with Cooper Rush. I'm not going to say Cooper Rush ain't good, but it's like, well, I can understand if you went with Cooper Rush to start and you had Trey at the backup and you went away from Dak. But you bring Cooper Rush in just to keep Trey on the bench. I mean, to me, it's fool's gold. I don't even know where Trey Lance is now. Did he get traded? I think he's gone. I don't think he's in Dallas no more. Are we going to overtime? Grizzlies and Thunder. How the hell did the Grizzlies burn this game? How the fuck? When I left Bogies, I think the Grizzlies were up by like 10 or 11 points going towards the end of the third. And I'm like, okay, I think they'll still manage to win. You're down 3, 38 seconds to go. And you allowed them to come back. That's probably going to be a big stinger if they lose this game, which I think Grizzlies will. I think if you're Morant at that point, you're probably going to request a trade in the offseason. At this point, it's just not working out. You know? Anyways, y'all watching that Clippers game? Clippers and Nuggets. Y'all watching that one? Clippers are up 100-78 with 6 minutes to go in the game. The Clippers should be up 3-0. If they didn't blow that game one, they should have won that game. Let's see. Jamal Murray, 21. Jokic, 23 so far. Michael Porter Jr., 7. Aaron Gordon, 15. Westbrook got 3 in 9 minutes. Well, let's see the clips. Zubac, 17. Kawhi Leonard, 18. James Harden got 20. Norman Powell got 20. Chris Dunn, 6. Nicholas Batum off the bench with 12. Derrick Jones Jr. with 7. And that's it. That's it so far. Clippers are up at 102-78. Well, and there's 6:17 left in the fourth. So, yeah, it looks like the Clippers are going to go on to win that one. They're going to go up 2-1. I said it before. I'll say it again. I think that the Clippers are a dark horse team in the Western Conference. I think they're definitely a lot better than what their record indicates. And I think, I said Nuggets in 7. I even picked the Nuggets to go to the Western Conference Finals, believe it or not. I picked them over Thunder. That looks like that's not going to happen. I think you're looking at a Thunder-Clippers round 2 matchup. I think it's going to be a lot better than, Nuggets and Thunder. If the Thunder win this game, which it looks like they will, they're up 5 with 19 seconds left. I think I would have to believe they're going to close out the Grizzlies in 4. But wow, what a turn of event that game was. The Grizzlies were up 30, blew the goddamn lead. They're about to lose. So sad. Now the Grizzlies are returning the favor that the Thunder did to them. This has got to be a salty taste in the mouth of Grizzlies fans. You're up 30. You're thinking the series is 2-1. Game 4 is going to be lit in that building. Not only do you blow the 30-point lead, but you lose. You lose your all-star in Morant. And now it just seems like your season is coming to an end with 19 seconds left, down 3-0. There's no way the Grizzlies win this series. I guess over after today. I think they're just mentally out of it now. Now they got sucked out of it. Holmgren balled out in that third quarter. Now he got like 18 points. And the third quarter was just shooting lights out behind the three-point line. They were leaving him open. I said, what are you doing? They gave the Thunder life. And the Thunder came back, and the Thunder never gave up. From what I'm seeing, it looks like the OKC Thunder are the best team in the league. I know it's a little too early to call it. A little too early. It looks like to me the Thunder are the best team in the league. Like, hands down. They're going to be a very tough team to beat. They're going to create matchup problems. And this team is just straight up lights out on fire with Chet Holmgren, with Dort, SGA. Man, that team is just straight fire, bro. They got young guys who are fast, can run on the fast break, can shoot the three-point shot, can create defensive problems. Man, they're going to be a tough team to beat in a 7-game series. I think if you're Warriors, Rockets, Lakers, Wolves, Clips, Nugs, I think you're probably saying, you know what, man, I'm kind of glad we avoided them in round one. But then you got to see them later. Because I'm telling you, man, if the Clippers play the Thunder, man, I'm not saying that the Clippers don't have a chance, but I don't think they can beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. I don't see it happening, bro. I see that series ending in like 5 or 6, bro. I mean, I'm not saying that the Clippers can't run with them, but man, that's going to be tough. I don't see the Clippers winning that series against the Thunder. I think the Thunder win that series and in 6. And Thunder are going to go to the Western Conference Finals. Wow, I had the Nuggets going and beating both of those teams. Boy, was I wrong. Do y'all think Jokic is going to want out of Denver? You know, that's a good question. Imagine all these free agents. You're going to have Morant, Durant, Bill, Book, and you're going to have possibly Joker on the free agency market. Man, that is going to be very interesting to see this next upcoming NBA season. I'm a little bit excited to see what's going to happen. Oh, look, Grizzlies just lost 114 to 108. And the Thunder are going to go ahead and go up 3-0. Look, SGA had 31 points. Jalen Williams, 26. Dort only had 2 tonight, okay? Holmgren had 24. You had 5 for Wallace. You had 10 for Caruso. Isaiah Joe had 10. That's got to be – it's got to suck that Morant's out. I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope he comes back. He had 15 points in 33 minutes or 16 minutes. Just imagine if Morant was not injured and still would have played, it probably would have been a lot of a different game, and it was. How one injury can, like, turn the whole pace of the game. Jared Jackson Jr. at 22. Scottie Pippen Jr. at 28. Desmond Bane at 10. Luke Kennard, 5. It's got to be mind-raveling for the Grizzlies to know that you have a 30-point lead to fucking blow it. And now you're down 3-0. That has got to be just gut-wrenching. Did you guys see the Knicks-Pistons game? Now, I thought the Pistons were going to, they did secure home court advantage. Well, they did. The New York Knicks came and balled out today. Karl Anthony Towns, who only had 10 points in Game 2, had 31 tonight. Those one-on-one matchups, they couldn't stop him. Mikal Bridges, 20. Jalen Brunson had 30. So just between Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson at 61 points. It's nasty, bro. 20 for Bridges, 6 for Josh Hart, and Ginobili at 22. So all their 5 starters are just 20 points or higher, except for Josh Hart for the Knicks. And Pistons, Tobias Harris had 5, so he struggled tonight. Joel Thompson, 7. Jalen Duran, 16. Cade Cunningham at 24. And Tim Hardaway Jr., 24. Dennis Schroeder, 18. Michael Beasley at 12. Paul Reed, 4. Ron Holland, 6. So the Knicks now are up 2-1 over the Pistons. So Knicks have now got the home court advantage. And now as far as the Nuggets and Clips are concerned, the Clippers are now up 110-82. And so the Clippers are going to go up. 2:56 left, but that game's over. So it looks like to me that the Clips are going to take the 2-1 lead in that series. It's a nasty matchup, man. Nasty, nasty matchup. So it's going to be that Game 4. Wow. So can Denver tie the series, or are the Clippers going to go up 3-1? All right. So tomorrow's games. Let's take a look at tomorrow's games real quick. Give me a second. And you got Celtics and Magic. That's a 6 o'clock game tomorrow. I got Celtics to go up 3-0 in that one. But Pacers at Bucks. I think Bucks get their shit together and they get the dub. And then Lakers at Wolves Game 3. I think you're going to see Kobe Bryant. You're going to see LeBron James and Luka show out. I think the Lakers go in Minnesota and still the win. Just something crazy. I think it's going to happen. And the 3 games on tomorrow. I got Celtics to win in Magic. I got the Bucks to win at home against Pacers. I got Lakers to win in Minnesota. And then for Saturday, which I will be at work too, the noon game will be Cavs and the Heat. And then it'll be Thunder at Grizzlies. That's game 4. I think that's the closeout game. I think Thunder close it out. I think whatever momentum that Memphis had went down with Morant's injury. Again, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but I don't see them winning. I think it's done. OKC closes it out. Cavs at the Heat. I mean, the Heat are going to put up a little fight. I'm expecting to see Miami Heat put up a fight, but I still think Cleveland goes in and gets the 3-0 lead. And when you can't stop Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell and Sam Merrill and Darius Garland, man, they got a cold squad over there, Cavs and Strauss. That's going to be a very difficult team to stop. Bunch of young guys right there. I think in that case, I think the Cavs are very good, man, and they have very good offensive weapons. I got the Cavs to take a commanding 3-0 lead against the Miami Heat. And I got Thunder to finish off the Grizzlies on Saturday. Game 4, Nuggets at Clippers. Do Clippers go up 3-1? That's an interesting question. No, I think Denver gets their shit together and ties the series. I still think that's a 7-game series. So I got Denver to tie it. And then, of course, the last game of Saturday, Rockets at the Warriors. And that's going to be interesting because if Butler doesn't play, I think the Rockets can steal this game if Butler doesn't play. It's sad because, of course, like I said, I don't want to be known for beating Golden State when their players are hurt. I want to know when we beat them at their best, right? Because that's when the win feels better, is when we can win at our best. But at the same time, you got to take it as you got to take it as the course goes. And if Butler's out, that gives the Rockets the advantage to steal one game in Golden State. I said, look, we didn't got to win both. We just got to win one. If we could tie this series up coming back Game 5 to Toyota Center, and then obviously there'll be a Game 6 in Golden State. So then the series will extend. I'm not picky. I'm not looking to take both games in Golden State. I think we'll split. But if Butler's not playing in Game 3, I said, why not make that statement Game 3 and take the 2-1 lead? Instead of having to put the pressure on us to win Game 4 to tie. So if I'm the Rockets, I'm thinking, hey, Butler's out. If he doesn't play Game 3, got to go out there. You've got to do exactly what you did in the first 2 games. In consistency, get physical, create those tough shots for Curry, minimize his points, make him pass the ball, depend on those other players to shoot the ball. And most importantly, we got to get physical. That's definitely and it worked in Game 2. That's what we did. We got physical with the Warriors. And that's what we got to do for Game 3 is Saturday at 7:30. Will you be streaming the game? Nope. Unfortunately, I'll be at work. So I cannot stream the game. As much as I would love to, I can't. Plus, I had already got a strike for that. I appealed it, and it's going through the appeal process, which I'm going to lose that appeal. So I'm thinking about tomorrow morning. They'll probably send me an email saying, hey, you got a strike. You lost your appeal. Because it'll be 2 days by then. So you'll lose your appeal or whatever. So you got to go 1 week without uploading anything. And then in 1 week you can upload, but you'll have a strike or whatever. So, that's okay. I'm not, too worried about it. I just appealed this that way. On this off day, I can kind of go through a little bit more games or whatever. Talk football, talk basketball, because I know that, the draft was up tonight or whatever. Are Texans fans upset that we didn't draft anybody? No. Obviously we wanted a receiver. We wanted Matthew Golden. He said he wanted to play for Houston. Prolific wide receiver from UT. I think he was going to fall right in our hands. And Green Bay stole the pick. And, rightfully so, they should have, because they were in front of us. 2 picks in front of us. Who's to say Minnesota wouldn't have picked him with the next pick, too? I think it was smart. It was a smart move for the Packers. Because not only do they get a good receiver, but then they take away from what Minnesota possibly could have picked after that. Their division rival. So they're probably thinking about that. But that's okay because we traded with the Giants. The Giants gave us 3 picks. We got 34, 99, and another future, I think, 6th round pick or 3rd round pick. One or two. We'll be all right. Just because you don't get a player in the 1st round doesn't mean the players you get after that are any good. Or not good. What pick did Brady come in at? Tom Brady. What pick was he like? 6th round? Look at him now. What is he like? 7-time Super Bowl champion? How many Super Bowls he's been to? Like 10 or 11? I mean, goddamn. Probably the best fucking athlete of all time. Yeah, we did. Let's check on that Nuggets game. It's over. Clips win 117-83. You got Powell with 20, Harden with 20, 21 with Leonard, 19 with Zubac. That's nasty. Nicholas Batum, 12. Derrick Jones Jr. got 10. That's sick. Sick money right there. Let's see who's the highest score for Nuggets. Jokic, 23. Jamal Murray, 23. Chris Braun, 9. Michael Porter Jr., 7. Aaron Gordon, 15. Other than that, man, they got no pinch points. They only got 3 from Westbrook and 1 from Nija. They only got 4 points off the bench. That sucks. Oh, and Peyton Watson had 2. They got to combine 6 points off the bench. And, yep, 6 points off the bench. That's not good. And let's see how many points Clippers had off the bench. They had, hold on. They had 22, 24, 27, 30, 31. They had 31 points off the bench, and the Nuggets only had 6. Ouch. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just because, like, you know, everybody's saying Shedeur Sanders didn't get picked in the 1st round because of his arrogance. I mean, it may be true, and it hurts his ego a little bit. I'm pretty sure he's not going to sleep well tonight. But he'll probably get picked in the 2nd round, maybe 2nd round, or maybe even top 3rd round. I don't think he's going to go undrafted. He's going to get picked, but it's just going to be lower. I think teams are struggling to pick him because he's arrogant. And not only that, but then he's like he wanted to retire his number. He's just a loudmouth. And that's okay to have confidence in yourself. But when you're over arrogant like that, sometimes teams look at it as like, okay, is this guy going to be a problem in the locker room? And then we sign and we're stuck in a rookie contract with him for 6 years, whatever. And this guy is, you know, God knows if he tries to dictate and tries to, oh, you're going to do this way and stuff. I mean, Jesus, Lord have mercy. Imagine having to have someone like that in the locker room who hasn't yet proven himself and he's sitting here trying to dictate the terms. Oh, hell no. They just say, you know what? As good as you are and as much of a talent you could possibly bring here, it's not worth the headache or the drama. So I'm willing to pass you up and pick someone else. I think a lot of these teams are looking at that now. They're starting to look at those things. You know? He's very arrogant. It's okay to be confident in yourself, but you know, you're going to retire my number, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. I'm like, no, you're not going to tell us what to do. We're signing you to come here to play. It's not we're not playing for you. You're playing for us. You better walk that boy through orientation again and tell him how it works. You know? I think Shedeur Sanders, he'll be good, but he ain't going to start. Unless he's with the team that desperately needs a quarterback. And there are a couple of NFL teams that are in that position. But he doesn't have any leverage. He doesn't have any leverage in this. Giants are taking Dart over Shador with a slap in the face. I'm just saying. Giants went with an edge rusher. Plus, they signed, what's his name? Russell Wilson. So maybe the Giants say, we're going to go ahead and go with a veteran quarterback and roll the dice. And you pick Shador Sanders in the spotlight in New York and tell him that he has that, you know, I don't know, man. That could be a circus. And the Giants have already been a clusterfuck. And and there's recent picks. And the last thing they need is somebody that's going to go there that's going to create even more of a circus for all the wrong reasons and create media hype for all the wrong reasons. The Giants already have been the laughingstock of football for the last 15 years. Don't want to add to it. And the Browns pick him. Hell, it's even worse. As he gets to go to a stadium with an owner who pretty much is a known meddler, and Jimmy Haslam, and you have to deal with that front office. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, Shador Sanders was going to end up being like when he's in, he's going to end up being in Cleveland. He's going to be like Deshaun Watson. Sorry, Deshaun, I had to throw you under the bus there, bro. But Shador Sanders is going to be like Deshaun Watson in Cleveland. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be kind of funny. You know who else he's going to be like? Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel. The old saying is, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So, Shador Sanders, if he's not careful, he's going to end up in a very bad area like the Giants, the Jets, Cleveland, and he's going to end up playing for a team that's already such a clusterfuck, and then you add his team to that? Nah. And Cleveland would be the perfect place to draft Sanders because they've already been a circus. Cleveland Browns are a circus. And you add Shador Sanders, he's going to end up like Deshaun Watson. Same way. You know, unless he you know, develops his character a little bit better and works on his you know, if he tones if he tones down the arrogance a little bit, I could understand, you know, him being a little bit more humble going into the draft and being more appreciative and willing to learn and stuff. But if he's going to be arrogant and throwing orders around, no, absolutely not. That's going to create problems in the locker room and problems in front office management unless he goes to a team that already has problems and drama like the Giants and the Browns. And there's probably a couple other teams you could probably name that are circus organizations, but those two are definitely on there. You could probably throw the Jets in there too. So if he was to land somewhere around there, they would put up with his shit because they're already they already have the personnel that already fits his personality. So it's just a big giant circus with different clowns that are there. And Shador Sanders will be a clown in Cleveland. I'm just being honest. It's just telling it like I is. Deshaun Watson went to Cleveland. He was a complete fucking clown. Right? He was a clown before he left, but he was the clown from McDonald's with the nose and everything, the hair and everything, the whole time he was in Cleveland. The whole time. And that's what happens when you go to Cleveland. You end up becoming a clown. Not the Brown, the clowns. So, no disrespect to Browns fans watching. I'm just telling the truth. Shador Sanders would be perfect there because he can suffer there in Cleveland. Just saying. So sometimes the talent just ain't worth the drama. You know, Terrell Owens, you know, as talented as he was, and probably should have won the Super Bowl, the Eagles back in 05, 06, or was it 03? 05, 06. As talented as a receiver as Terrell Owens was, his ego got the best of him. Unfortunately, he never got a ring. All right, talented, yes. Good receiver? Yes. Head case? Yes. Created problems in the locker room? Yes. Yeah. You put yourself above the team? That's it. No more. It is time to move on. It's only 2 quarterbacks were drafted. I think the AFC South stole the show in the first round. Absolutely. They stole the show. You know, the Titans desperately need a quarterback, and they got him. Jaguars, they got the corner slash receiver. And Travis Hunter. That's a good pickup. I don't know who the Colts picked. I got to go back and look. Texans go down to 34. Iron Trippin give us an offensive tackle, and we'll be straight. We lost Diggs. So what? We'll get a new one. We'll always find another receiver, young guy with young legs. So what? We lost Diggs. Tore his ACL. And I'm going to wish him a speedy recovery. I never have anything bad to say about him, because I think he's a great wide receiver. But we'll find somebody. How business works. You know, he went to New England because they gave him a better deal. Okay, fine. Take the better deal. We'll go get somebody else. We'll find somebody else, like I said, man. It's the art of business. We'll just find somebody else, man, in the draft, bro. Not a big deal. We will find someone else. We got 8 rounds of drafts. Oh, man, I can't wait till the times and schedule releases, Marvin said. I can't wait to see who the Texans play. It don't matter, bro. Put anybody on the schedule with us. Well, let's just, for shits and giggles, let's say I'm going to look at the Texans' opponents for this year. I do kind of want to see who we're playing outside of our division. Texans 2025 opponents. Well, let's see. Oh, shit, we play Kansas City. That's what it's saying. But not to start the game off, but we got our home. Let's just X the division games out. So we're looking at outside our division. The home games, you got Buffalo, Denver, Oakland, Arizona, San Fran, and Tampa Bay. So we got 9 home games this year. So we got 8 on the road. And on the road, we got at Kansas City, at Chargers, at the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Ravens. And who would I like to play? That's going to be a tough one. You know, they always say, oh, you don't see him playing both sides? No, he's not going to play both sides of the field. This is college football. I mean, it's NFL, not college. He ain't going to play both sides. He'd be a fool to do that. If I'm the Texans, and I got to pick my opponent, you're going to call me crazy for this. I'd go a little risky. I'd go on the road and play either at Kansas City or at Baltimore. If I got to pick, start the year off, last thing you want to do is be in Kansas City or Baltimore when it's snowing like shit in the month of December. So if I got to pick my schedule, I'd go. We played Ravens just to open up the season, I think, years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm correct. I probably would say Texans should go at Kansas City to open up the season and just, go ahead and roll the dice you lose even if we were to lose at Kansas City, at least you get like the one of the very toughest games off the schedule. So then it gets kind of I'm not going to say it gets easier, but it relieves you a little bit that the tough games on the road, you get them over with right off the bat, and then the schedule gets sort of a little bit more evenly as the season goes on. You think Eagles will repeat as champions? I think they got a good shot. I don't see why not. Because I don't think Cowboys are beating them. I sure as hell don't think the Giants can beat them. And maybe the Commanders, if anybody, can compete with them. Eagles and Commanders are probably going to battle it out. And Commanders got Debo Samuels in the offseason. They took Lamar Tunzel with them from Houston. That's pretty good. If you could go to one Texans road game, what would it be? I've been asked this question before. I've always wanted to travel to a Texan road game just to say that I did it. Obviously, Dallas would be the easy one because it's right down the road. Or at New Orleans, maybe, because New Orleans, 7-8 hour drive. Everything else after that is a distance. You'd have to fly to a lot of these games. Maybe you could drive to Atlanta, maybe, but to be honest with you, I would say if I could travel to a road game, it would be at Jacksonville, hands down. I think Jacksonville has a very nice stadium. Their layout looks pretty cool. It's right by the waters. And I just always, I don't know, I've always had Jacksonville kind of penciled in as a city I've always wanted to go travel to. And go into a Jaguars game in Jacksonville would be pretty cool. I don't know so much if I drive. I'd probably fly. I'm not going to lie. I probably would fly if I'm going to go to Jacksonville. My cousin, he's a big Colts fan. So he flies to Indianapolis every year to catch a Colts game. I thought that's pretty cool. So I'm like, maybe I might, consider flying to an actual Texan road game. I don't know so much if it would be this year, but possibly next year. I can possibly start, because like this year we play the Rams and the Chargers. So obviously we're going up against the NFC. No. We're going up against the NFC West. Okay, so that means we play the East next year. So that means, you're going to play Eagles, you're going to play Giants, you're going to play Dallas, you're going to play, and I'm sure Dallas will come here because we've been going to Dallas the last 2 or 3 times. We've pretty much gone to Dallas already, like multiple times. So I'm assuming they're coming here next. So that's off the picture. So then you'd either be going at Philly, at New York, or at Washington. I may not do that. I may not go to that one. And then we also played the AFC East, so that means we'll be going up against the North next year. Browns, Steelers, Bengals. Browns, Steelers, Bengals. And who's the other one? Browns, Steelers, Bengals, Browns. Nah, I probably won't be flying out to none of those games. If anything, it'd probably be maybe in Jacksonville. Maybe plan on going to a Jacksonville game either this year or next year. Most likely it'd be next year. That's what I'm leaning towards. Go to a Jaguars game. Texans and Jaguars. Inside of Jacksonville. Oh, Buffalo and Houston be a great matchup in week 1. Yeah. And we play them at home. We play them here. We play them here. It's going to be a fun, exciting NFL season. Did you hear NFL's maybe jumping to an 18-game schedule? They've been talking about that. And honestly, I think that's what's best. Cut the preseason down to 2 games. And then you go ahead and throw in an 18th game, make the home and away games the exact same. 17 is an odd number, but 18 is an even number. You get the same amount of road and home games, and then you eliminate 2 preseason games and make it only 2 preseason games. I think 2 preseason games is adequate. You got a whole offseason, OTAs, non-mandatory mini camps. You already have all this. Why would you want a 3-game preseason to follow? So, and season ticket holders are always screwed out of this because they make you pay for like 2 home games at the same price as the regular season. At least when I used to go, it was like that. Now maybe they might have changed that, but when I used to go, you had to pay the same cost for those preseason tickets, the same cost as a regular season game for a game that don't even matter. And I hated it. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of my season tickets. So I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and pay for 2 preseason games that don't matter. It's stupid. So, I just said I'm done with paying for preseason games. I was like, if y'all don't fix this shit, or at least take half off or something, then I'm just not going to go to any more season game. I'm just not going to be a season ticket holder anymore. You can kind of buy the tickets individually. Sometimes you'll get good deals on them. Depends on if you're buying them at the last minute. But I'm not going to sit there and pay for season tickets just for you to fucking hack the cost up on preseason games. And that was the issue that season ticket holders were having for a long time. Because they were having issues with again having to pay for preseason tickets. Yeah. A game that doesn't count. You got to pay for parking, you got to pay for food and all that. Man, fuck that. I'm not going to sit there and pay. Now, maybe one preseason game, then I could say, okay, you sell the tickets at maybe like a third of the cost, and I could say, okay, well, that's reasonable. Or a discounted price. Okay, that's kind of reasonable. I kind of like that idea, and we can go with that and roll the dice there. But I'm not going to pay full boat for two preseason games. Not doing that shit. I've been to many games. I've been to so many Texans games. It doesn't really matter at this point if I ever go to a game again. I'm going to be honest with you. I enjoy them. I can go to Bogey's, order a shitload of wings, and I'd be just as happy. Buffalo Wild Wings and be just as happy. It ain't no like, I'm not losing no sleep over this shit. So, like for me personally, I enjoy watching the games at the house. I just been to so many games, man. You just get burned out. Some people like going to games. Some people like going to every game. I just can't do that anymore. I get burned out, man. 20 games. Oh yeah, if they got rid of all preseason and made it a 20-game season, count me in. Count me in. I'm game. That would be really cool. If the NFL did that, if they just eliminated all preseason and made it a 20-game season. You're talking about 10 home games, 10 road games. So that would probably eliminate our random opponents, maybe. And it would probably play maybe 2 divisions within our own conference. And that would be really cool. So, like, you'd have 20 games. You'd have 6 games against your division opponents, and you'd have another 8 games against interconference opponents. So you got a total of 16 games out of 20 that is potentially against your own conference. And I kind of like that idea. That way you get to play every team like one time, or you get to play most of the teams one time. I think except 3 teams you wouldn't be able to play against. Or 4 teams. Yeah, there'd be 4 teams you wouldn't be able to play against. But I kind of like that idea. I kind of like the concept of that. Absolutely. That would be pretty cool. Hey, count me in. I feel bad for the Memphis Grizzlies, man. I really do. Really, really do. And they should have won tonight. You're up 30 points. You blow a 30-point lead, man. I mean, I know Morant went out, but y'all had to win that game, bro. No way you fucking lose 114 and 108 after having a 30-point lead at halftime. Come on, man. The Thunder won, man. What a crazy, crazy event, man. Yeah, our home opponents again: Bills, Broncos, Raiders, Cardinals, Niners, Bucks. Road: Seahawks, Ravens, Rams, Chargers. So wait a minute. So that means we got to go to Sophie Stadium twice. We got to play Chargers and Rams. They share the same stadium, so we got to go to their house twice, basically. And Chiefs. I don't know. I just want the season to start off against a good opponent on the road. Just get that all over with. If we lose at Baltimore, Kansas City, we have very difficult time winning those games in Baltimore and Kansas City. I'd rather play one of them to start the year off and just get it over with. Just get the hell of it out the way. Oh man, I know y'all can't wait for football season. 'Cause I'm already like, I I can't wait for the 2025 schedule to come out. I cannot wait. The May what 14th? You said. So to me personally, I would like it. I can't wait. I'm probably gonna do a video on that if it's gonna come out Wednesday. If the 14th is on a Wednesday or a Thursday, man, I'll probably do like a little video, response to live stream on, the Texans schedule release and all that. I'm just dying to see it. It's just like, let's go to start the season. Tigers start off versus the Dodgers. Like I said, I like baseball, man, but for me personally, I like baseball when it's towards the end of the year. Like July 4th for me is opening week, because it's kind of cool. July 4th, you got baseball. And then after that, it kind of starts to speed up with the pennant chases, division races. Teams are trying to fight to get in a secure a playoff and stuff. So right around after July 4th is when baseball starts to start to pick up and go from there. Yeah. So these are our opponents. We got a 34th pick tomorrow, so we're gonna go offensive lineman. Boy, I can't wait. NFL season is already today. We got like a slight, like, you know, a slight like taste of the regular season, I guess. Damn. So Saunders doesn't get picked with the first pick. Ouch. But he could always come in the next round, and you never know. It might end up being a good quarterback. So sometimes you get picked in the first round and end up being a bust, and then sometimes you get picked in the fourth or fifth round and end up being one of the best positional players in the last 5 years. So you just never know. It's all a crapshoot at this point. Crapshoot. I always call it crapshoot. They're on a bucket. It looks like John Morant has the same injury as Jimmy. Y'all see that injury? If y'all didn't type it in, go look it up. Type in the John Morant injury today, where like he went underneath that one guy and fell on his side. It looked nasty, dude. I mean, I wish him a speedy recovery, but it looks like he has the same injury Jimmy G got, and that means he's out game 4. That's a wrap. And that's if you're Memphis, you're definitely this definitely is an eyesore. You lose your best player, and then you lose a 30-point lead, and you lose to the Thunder, and after having a 30-point lead, I mean that's just it's going to be hard to sleep at night knowing it's a stinger, man. It's definitely a sting. I think it's almost a detrimental blow to Memphis Grizzlies their season. And I think in the offseason, they're probably going to have to shop around for Morant's trade. I think he's going to request a trade. Unless you find somebody in the offseason that's willing to go over there. Who's going to want to go play for Memphis, though, and Morant? Morant will probably have to go somewhere else. There's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be willing to trade for him. Sure. But, it just it sucks, when you have a player that's, so talented, as talented as he is, and then he goes down with an injury. It's just it's unfortunate. Never want to see anybody get hurt. Even with Jimmy G, I don't think players intend on hurting a lot of these players, and then it just happens. It's part of the game. You never want to see a player get hurt, but when it happens, there's just really nothing you can do about it. It's just it's the nature of the beast. It's it's the art of sports. I've gotten hurt playing sports, so I know I've had concussions. I've had a broken wrist, football. I've had concussions playing football. I've had a fractured thumb playing basketball. Several jammed fingers. Stop it, little pause. And I've had all types of sports injuries. I've had a twisted ankle. I've had a fractured Achilles. I've had a torn Achilles in my right foot in 6th grade, and it took a year and a half to heal. So I've had all types of sports injuries, just from playing pickup basketball to playing backyard football to playing a team organized sport. Hell, I even had a fractured thumb in YMCA. So I've had it happen, man. I've had injuries. I know what it's like to get hurt. And, when you see players getting like back pain injuries and stuff, I kind of feel bad, especially like Devin Booker gets back pain injuries, Kevin Durant gets back pain injuries. And, people bash, oh, Anthony Davis gets a lot of back pain. You see him getting hurt a lot. And players, people will kind of come at him in the comments, calling him Mr. Glass. And I'm like, I kind of want to laugh because it's kind of funny, like the roast comments. But then it's kind of like, damn, I can kind of relate because I got back pain. So I know what it's like. Like when you have back pain, you can't fucking move. That shit fucking sucks. And especially like when you're laying down or if you're sitting on a chair for a long time or you're standing up for a long time and your muscles start to flare up in the back or whatever. And it sucks. It really does. It's back pain is one of the worst injuries ever. Behind sciatical nerve pain, this shit fucking sucks. It can spread all the way from your hip all the way to your thighs. You can feel the sharp pain. It gets to a point to where you're like limping basically. It's a bitch. It's a bitch having back pain. It's no joke. So when I see Anthony Davis going out with back pain, I'm like, man, I can relate, brother, because that shit fucking sucks. With the back pain. Um, that's why I wish NBA basketball would shorten their season up just like a little bit. I'm not saying like, like too much, but like maybe go from 82 to like 66 games. I kind of like how they did that in 2011 and have like a short season of 66 games and you can still keep the playoff format the same. And that way, so players will have no excuse for the load management, taking games off, and there'll be more days off in between the games. I wouldn't have a problem with that. And maybe you could start the season instead of starting in October. You can start basketball like in December and just do a 66 game season from December all the way till April. To me, I think that would be a great idea. I think they should start basketball on Christmas Day. I think they should make that opening series on Christmas Day and have the Christmas Day games laid out. I think that would be really cool, you know. And that way you can shorten the season up, players get rust, stuff like that. And every game kind of means something, not too many watered down games. So, not an excuse for players sitting out. That sort of ordeal. But yeah, what to make of the NBA draft today, NFL draft? Not much. Shadul Sanders didn't get picked. Texans trade down. Green Bay still is our fucking wide receiver. It's all good. We're gonna go offensive lineman. I'm just ready for the NFL schedule release, and I'm ready to get football fucking started. That's how I look at it. Just ready to get this shit started. All right, well, I said everything I had to say. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired. My cat wants to go to sleep. He's on me right now, screaming at me. I'm gonna get up out of here, so I'll see you guys tomorrow, man.